and a good morning. Good morning. It is a Monday morning. I hope your weekend went well. Hope you had a restful evening and ready to start the week, ready to start the day, ready to get things going. And today, I'm starting a little bit late, 8:01 really, because just as it was about to be 8 o'clock, I clicked on something and it erased everything I typed. I was like, whoops. Anyway, so good morning. Thank you for joining me. My name is Al Gavada. It is Monday, like I said, and today's the day. Today's the day we're going to be talking about motivational quotes about improving yourself. Whether it's right now, watching live, or on the replay, there's some great information on these quotes. Great quotes about improving yourself, whether or not you've thought about making changes in your life, whether or not you've thought about taking on something new, or just maybe getting rid of some sort of deficiency that you feel you have. All right, so we're going to be talking about those quotes, and we'll see how it plays out. So the quote, the actual article, is on success.com. I'm putting the link on the comments right now, and this is a couple years old by Shelby Scrack. I hope I pronounced that right. And the article starts like this: personal development sounds fantastic in theory, right? So does waking up early, like today. Oof. Reading a book every week or eating healthy. But until you actually take the first step to do those things, wake up as soon as the alarm goes off, didn't. Read the first chapter, or choose the salad over the burger. The gap between knowing what you should do and actually doing them only gets wider. That's the gap we're going to be talking about today. Do you want to know the secret to accomplishing all your best laid plans and more? Just start. Just start. Every time you turn off the TV and start reading a few pages of a personal development book, you take a small action to improve yourself. And that moves you one step closer to accomplishing your goals. The slight edge, the compound effect, whatever you want to call it, these small steps are how self improvement really happens. Here are 12 quotes that'll motivate you to work on yourself and improve your life one small action at a time, because that's how it's done. One small action at a time. Let's kick it off. First quote, T.D. Jakes. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always be where you've always been. Can't get any simpler than that. T.D. Jakes lays it out as simple as possible. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always be where you've always been. I don't like my job. I don't like this. I don't like. I'm tired of not having money to be able to do what I want, to be able to buy things that I want, to be able to provide things, give gifts to my family, my loved ones, my kids, provide them the education, provide them the uh, whatever they need. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always be where you've always been. Where you live, what you do, what you buy, what you eat, what you drink, how you experience your vacations, all that is determined by what you make, pretty much. Pretty much everything takes money, and I'm not talking about, oh, money is the be all end all. No, I'm just talking about if you're dissatisfied with where you are right now, there are ways to change it, even if it's one step at a time. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always be where you've always been. T.D. Jakes. The next quote, Tom Bilyeu. You've got to have rules to live by. And one of mine is always saying yes. Put yourself in danger of something amazing happening to you. What did this guy watch the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey? That's literally what it is. I mean, obviously taken to an extreme, right? What? Jim Carrey to the extreme? You've got to have rules to live by. And one of mine is always say yes. Put yourself in danger of something amazing happening to you. Tom Bilyeu. So, how much of a reflex is it for people to say no to things? How much of a how much have we been conditioned to have that reflex of saying no or responding in a negative way? And I'll give you an example. If you walk into a store, hi, how you doing? May I help you? No, I'm good. Just looking. uh, Walk into a car lot, right? That's even more so. It's like, Hey, how y'all doing today? Y'all looking for a car? No, no, I'm good. Like, whatever. So imagine if we condition ourselves to always have that response, to reply in that way, to respond in that way when we're approached about something, it's almost guaranteed that we're doing that to everything. Almost. Not saying it's completely guaranteed. See, almost guaranteed that you're going to reply like that anytime somebody approaches you with something new. Hey, have you tried? No, I'm good. No, thanks. And it's sad, right? We have to give ourselves opportunity to experience something new. Like it says, you've got to have rules to live by, and one of mine is always say yes. Put yourself in danger of something amazing happening to you. There's been a couple of instances in my life where I've said yes, and it's turned out amazing. It's turned out, I mean, not like life changing, right? But it's something that I would have never done. Like a couple of examples just off the top of my head that I can think of because they stood out to me. Um, there's a At the arena here where I live, there was going to be an event that was um, motorcycle ice racing. Okay, so we're talking about low engine size, fast, light motorcycles with studded, spiked wheels racing on ice. So it's this oval or circular track where they're just literally punching the gas and going. They're hanging on for dear life. And they asked, "Hey, would you like to announce it?" When would I have ever had an opportunity to announce anything like that? We're not talking about, this is A, B, C, D. No, announce like the play by play as it's going on, as it's almost like calling a horse race, right? So I said yes. And never done it before in my life. And I said yes, and I did it, and it was hilarious and fun. And the probably the biggest prop I got was the organizer saying, "Man, I wish I could take you on the road with me." So that was pretty cool. Another one was if I would like to give a presentation to a group of students about public speaking. I've never done that. I've never given a presentation on public speaking. I've never had trouble speaking in public. I mean, sure, there's always nerves and all that, but I've never been afraid of doing it. I said, sure. So I did that for a small group of students. It was great, great interaction. I wound up doing the presentation or a variation therein multiple times after that. So I got to do it for like the whole South. What was it, a meeting of the whole like South region of Homeland Security, like supervisors. I was like, wow. Then I did it in front of um, a committee that was gonna that was allotting money to local charities, and I spoke in front of them. I don't. It was a variation on it. So I said yes, and it put me on a path to be able to expand who I can speak in front of and things like that. So there's been many instances in my life where I've just said yes. You've got to have rules to live by, and one of mine is always say yes. Put yourself in danger of something amazing happening to you. Tom Bilyeu, put yourself in danger of something amazing happening to you. Improve yourself by stepping outside of your comfort zone. Next one, Daniel Amen, or Dr. Daniel Amen. The health of your brain is much more about your actions than your age. The health of your brain is much more about your actions than your age. That was the correct way. So, how many times have you heard? I know I have, and you hear it more as you get older. You hear people say, "Man, but I don't feel my age. I still feel like I'm in my insert year here. Like I still feel like I'm in my 20s. I still feel like I'm in, my 30s. I still feel like a teenager and, they're already 40, 50, whatever. The health of your brain is much more about your actions than your age. That's why some of us don't act our age. Keep developing and feeding and watering and weeding your brain with positivity. Take out the negative stuff. Get rid of stuff that is not helping you. Get rid of stuff that's holding you back, that's not allowing you to improve yourself. Because that's what we're talking about today. Motivational quotes about improving yourself, personal development, and intaking personal development and motivational videos and spiritual stuff if you're into that. Not everybody is, right? Intake positive quality stuff to keep the health of your brain as healthy as possible. Conversely, you also have to do removal of negative stuff, removal of stuff that's taking, that people that are living in your head rent free. Let them go. Let that negativity go. The health of your brain is as much about your actions than your age, Dr. Daniel Amen. John Addison said, "You're either green and growing or you're ripe and rotting." All right, so where are you at? Are you done? Are you ripe? You're rotting? You're done. There's nowhere to improve, nowhere to go. You're already set in your ways, and that's it. Is that where you're at? Or are you still green and growing? Oh, but I'm X number of years old, Al. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I literally had a conversation on Saturday with someone, an ex-boss of mine, and she said, and we were talking about her family, and, I asked about her mom, who's 80, and she's like, my mom, she's taking classes at the community college. I'm like, what do you mean? She says, well, the classes are free for them. So, are free for her and, senior citizens, I guess. I haven't looked into it. But she goes, my mom's taking classes. She's 80 years old. So, how do you see yourself? Are you done growing? Is there no more room for growth? Have you decided that growth is no longer something you're going to pursue just because you've hit a certain age? Or you allowed your mental health to deteriorate to the point that you're like, yeah, I'm done. And how is that going to affect you? How is that decision going to affect you? And I like to look at four things, right? Emotional, spiritual, physical, and emotional, mental, spiritual. Oh my gosh! I always think of four things. See what happens. I got to refresh my brain. So emotional health, right? Spiritual health, mental health. So you've got to look at these things and how it affects you when you decide, I'm done, and how that's going to affect you, and how are you going to allow that decision to keep you from finding something new, because there's always new voices coming out. There's always new perspectives coming out. And you have to be open to those types of perspectives, at least to consider them, at least to ingest them, and then decide whether they're yours or not. Whether it's something that you want to implement or glean from, you decide. But don't close yourself off to the input of information of positivity that gives you an opportunity to reshape your view and better yourself in some way, shape, or form. You're either green and growing or you're ripe and rotting. John Addison. Simon T. Bailey says, change is your friend, not your foe. Change is a brilliant opportunity to grow. Change is your friend, not your foe. Change is a brilliant opportunity to grow. Now, I don't know if he set out to make it rhyme, but it does. And it just talks about that, about being stuck, about being complacent and stagnant, and maybe just letting go. That's, I think, one of the worst things we can do as humans. Just letting go. And I'm not talking about, I'm going to let go and let God, that's a whole different thing. I'm talking about letting go and accepting what life is going to give you, because life is going to give you what you take. That life is going to give you what you're willing to accept. It's as simple as that, right? You decide that's what I'm going to take. I'm willing to accept that. I'm willing to accept this terrible job. I'm willing to accept whatever I'm earning. I'm willing to accept the way I'm treated by people. I'm willing to accept my lack of understanding, my lack of education, my lack of empathy. That's what I'm willing to accept. Or you can change, learn, read, ingest information, and grow. Change is your friend, not your foe. Change is a brilliant opportunity to grow. Simon T. Bailey. My brain is a little foggy this morning is because I don't have coffee. We're talking about waking up earlier. I didn't wake up early today. So much so that I didn't even get a chance to make coffee. All right. So, Dr. Henry Cloud, next quote. This is a long one, but growth is actually contagious. So, if you want to reach your goals, you've got to get around people that are going in the same direction you want to be going, and you will catch the success. That's plenty of evidence everywhere on that. Growth is actually contagious. So, if you want to reach your goals, you've got to get around people that are going in the same direction you want to be going, and you will catch the success. Iron sharpens iron. That's what they talk about, right? So, what do you want to do? You want to become healthier? You want to become a healthy eater? Start hanging around people that are eating healthy. You want to, get better at exercising? Hang around people that are maybe in your same type of body shape, or, there are some limitations. I'm not 15 years old anymore, right? Or 18 years old or 20 years old. But hang out with somebody that's going in the same direction that you're going if you want to succeed. Simple as that. Like-minded people. If it's somebody going to be dragging you down, if it's somebody's going to be pulling in the opposite direction, holding onto a rope and they're pulling in the opposite direction, your forward progress is going to be hindered by that same person. They're going that way. So if you want to succeed, growth is actually contagious. If you want to reach your goals, you've got to get around people that are going in the same direction you want to be going. You will catch the success. Dr. Henry Cloud. Lewis Howes. The key to happiness is really progress and growth and constantly working on yourself and developing something. It's a journey, isn't it? It's a journey and not the destination. You want to that feeling of progress and growth is undeniable. How you feel when you see progress, when you see growth, you quantifiable success, even if it's in small increments, that feeling you get is basically happiness. The key to happiness is really progress and growth and constantly working on yourself and developing something. Developing something in yourself. You want to do personal growth? Look for people that speak to you. And you can ask your friends, you can ask your loved ones, say, who do you listen to or who do you, read for personal growth? And it's happened to me on more than one occasion where somebody suggests someone to you and they are just over the moon about this person. They're like, this person, blah, 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 this, that, and the other, and they're hyping them up and all this, that, and the other. Then you start listening, you're like, you don't see it. It's just, they're not speaking to you. This is what I've come to realize. Different voices reach different people. Different voices reach different people. So the person that you feel speaks to you like no one ever has may not speak to me in the same way, because we're seeing and we're receiving the information that they are giving through different filters. My filter is my entirety of my life experience. Everything I've experienced, everything I've read, everything I've lived, everything I've consumed to make me who I am is entirely different than what you have. However number of years you've done it, what you've experienced, what our difference in socioeconomic status, our whatever our gender, the filters are different. So different voices touch different people. You have to find that voice. You have to find the words that touch you, the words that make you realize this is it. This is what I want. This is what I've been looking for. When you feel that is when you can continue. Because if somebody gives you a recommendation, like for example, what I do here today doesn't reach everybody. I mean, and I understand that, and that's okay. I'm just trying to reach the person who it does benefit. It's as simple as that. right? So don't give up if somebody recommends someone or something and it doesn't touch you. You just realize that that's not for you. So now you can go on to the next one and keep looking and find what works for you. It's out there. The person, the words, the document, whatever is out there for you. The experience is out there waiting for you. The key to happiness is really progress and growth and constantly working on yourself and developing something. Lewis Howes. Next one. Beginning today. Oh, this is by Brendan Burchard. Beginning today, set an intention and a relentless focus on living your life as the greatest person you can be in all situations. Wow, that's hard. Wow. Now, is it impossible? No. Pretty much anything's possible. You put your mind to it, right? And you have to have that. You have to have that attitude, that mindset. Very few things are impossible. Yeah, you want to get into the extreme. Yes, it's impossible. But very few things that are put towards us, put forth upon us. Very few things are impossible. Beginning today, set an intention and a relentless focus on living your life as the greatest person you can be in all situations. Now, there's an old saying that my friend, may he rest in peace, and we had our ups and downs, but our my friend Michael J. He was in radio with me. Michael J. Lang, may he rest in peace. And when he'd sign off, he'd say, shoot for the moon because even if you miss, you'll be among the stars. So basically, that's what this is. Attempt to live your life as somebody better than you already are. Attempt to live your life, show by example to be a better person, show more empathy, be more understanding, be more helpful, be good, better listener. Shoot as far as you can possibly can with these goals because even if you don't reach them, you are far beyond who you are right now by taking that one simple step. Even if you start with one situation or one quality that you possess that you are unhappy with, even if you start with the one thing in your life that you want to change for the better, you're already going to be better off than you were before because you've made that change. You've taken that step. Beginning today, set an intention and a relentless focus on living your life as the greatest person you can be in all situations. Brendan Burchard. Gloria Mayfield Banks. Leap off the fence of indecision. Get out of the want to lane and put yourself into the got to lane. I can almost guarantee, and I don't know who Gloria Mayfield Banks is, but I can almost guarantee she says it with attitude. Leap off the fence of indecision, get out of the want to lane, and put yourself into the got to lane. Probably with better attitude than with maybe a better accent. I don't even know if that was kind of like I had an accent, right? It just happens. You start acting, and for whatever reason, an accent comes out. But yeah, leap off the fence of indecision. Oh, should I? Shouldn't I? What if? Oh man, what if? It's funny because when people talk about what ifs, mostly we're thinking about negatives, right? What if I fail? What if it goes wrong? What if I can't do it? What if I'm embarrassed? What if I make a fool of myself? What? It's all that indecision and doubt. And doubt is a dream killer. Doubt, indecision is a dream killer. Comfort is a dream killer. What if you succeed? What if you do get the job? What if you do set that date with the person who you caught your eye? What if you do succeed? What if it does happen? Let's think that way. Leap off the fence of indecision. Get out of the want to lane. Put yourself into the got to lane. Gloria Mayfield Banks. Mel Robbins. The time is now. Stop hitting the snooze button on your life. Oh my gosh. How many people, including myself, hit the snooze button today? And then I woke up and I'm rushing. Oh, which is again why I don't have coffee. I hit that dreaded snooze button, and it cost me. So the time is now. Stop hitting the snooze button on your life. Mel Robbins. Are you putting something off because you're afraid? Are you putting something off because somebody said you can't do it? Or somebody said you shouldn't do that? You shouldn't do that. Or even worse, if a voice inside your head from the past said you can't do that. There's no way you can do that. It's a voice from somebody in your past that is still living in your head rent free is telling you that you can't do something. So you hit the snooze button on your life and you don't take that chance and you don't make that leap and you don't try and you don't undertake something that's for the betterment of yourself, for the betterment of your situation, and even further, the betterment of our community and the world. A voice from the past that's keeping you from making that choice. That's the worst. That's the stuff you got to get out of your head when you put in the positivity in your head. There's nothing worse than that. The time is now. Stop hitting the snooze button on your life. Mel Robbins. A couple more and we're done. Carrie Wilkerson. The dreaming has to be backed up by the doing. There's a guy, there's a picture on this quote. It's a guy doing free climbing. You know what free climbing in? It's just crazy. I can't, my hand, my finger strength, and I have a finger that gives me problem. I'd drop down that mountain. That literally I can't do. Physical limitations. But this guy's like literally just no gloves, just hands, some really grippy shoes, and a bunch of stuff, a pouch of powder on his back, right, hanging from the back of his belt, and a bunch of clamps and whatnot to secure himself. And he's just climbing up a rock wall. Why? Because he had a dream to reach the top, and he's backing it up by doing it. What's your dream? Here's a conversation that I have with people when I talk to them about their finances and stuff like that. When was the last time you allowed yourself to dream or to set a goal? When was the last time? Ask yourself, be honest with yourself, and ask yourself, when was the last time I allowed myself, because nobody else gives, you don't need anybody's permission to set a goal, or even less, to dream. When was the last time you dreamt? When was the last time you set a goal for yourself? Something that you want. Something pleasurable to you. When was the last time you set a goal? And be honest with yourself. I'm not asking you right now. You have to ask yourself. When did you stop dreaming? We're told as children usually, and we tell our children usually to dream. We encourage their dreams. That's the way to go. Encourage your children to dream. Allow their imagination to be as huge as possible. And their dreams to be as huge as possible, because you know what? When they go out into the world has a bad habit of tempering dreams and expectations and imagination, and starts smashing it in. It's like you had a big ball of aluminum foil and you start smashing it in with hammers until you compact it and make it as small as possible. So the bigger their imagination is and expectations can be, the better. So that way when they go out into the world, they got a lot to defend themselves with. And the realization that they have the ability to dream. So when was the last time you dreamt? You allowed yourself to dream, set a goal. The dreaming has to be backed up by the doing. Carrie Wilkerson. Last one. Jason Witten. I know that name. Jason Witten. When you are at that intersection in the road and you've got two paths to go down, because of the impact of certain people in your life, you're able to choose the right path. When you're at that intersection in the road and you've got two paths to go down, because of the impact of certain people in your life, you're able to choose the right path. Jason Witten. So a little while ago, I was talking about that negative voice from the past. Don't forget you have powerful, positive voices that work in your best interest from the past. Certain people in your life who loved you and cared about you, who may or may not be around today, want you to make the right choice in life, want you to make the right decision when you reach that crossroads. And many times it's not just two paths, it could be multiple paths. And again, every single moment we're alive is a chance at rebirth. That's what I say. So you've got that choice. Do you want to take the easy path? What you're doing right now, your life is not going to be changing in any way, shape, or form for the next 5 years. And then 5 years from now, you can look back and regret and go, I wish I would have changed back then. Well, the best time to plant a tree was yesterday or 10 years ago. Second best time is today. So what are you going to do today? How many opportunities are you going to have today to make a decision to improve yourself in some way, shape, or form? There's books everywhere. There's audio everywhere. There's video everywhere. There are people in your life that you are not taking full advantage of their experience and their who they are as people to make you better. And there are many people that are willing to invest in you, even if it's in small time or whatever. Find the people. Find the people that are going in the same direction as you. And improve yourself. Make a decision today to at least some way, shape, or form start improving yourself. Whether you decide to start reading personal development books, start listening to motivational audio or personal development audio, whatever it is. Make a decision today. When you are at that intersection in the road and you've got two paths to go down, that's where you're at right now. Because of the impact of certain people in your life, you're able to choose the right path. Jason Witten. So those are your quotes about improving yourself to kick off your Monday today. I will now be going to make coffee, ya pa que, to start my Monday. And I wish you to have a wonderful day today. Remember, knowledge is power. Imagination is king. Intelligence your weapon. Read a good book today. Enrich your mind. Enrich your mind. Every single moment we're alive is a chance at rebirth. Today's your chance at rebirth. Your future self is awaiting. And it's awaiting to see what you're going to decide. Whether you're going to continue down the same road that you're not happy with. Now, you may be happy generally in life, but there may be something you're not happy with. So your future self is waiting. What decision are you going to make your future self better? I plan to be back on Wednesday, 8 a.m. I hope you're here as well. Please hit the like button, share it. Let's let everybody hear these conversations and allow them to make a decision to better themselves as well, improve themselves as well. And I appreciate you. I thank you. I thank you and I appreciate you. You have yourself a wonderful day. And until next time, we'll be talking.